So I thought I would do another stitch with me. I'm going to work on bubbles today, and bubbles is a decent amount of block stitching. So I pre-loaded a couple needles, and yeah, let's do another stitch with me. Thank you to everyone who watched and commented last time. That was fun. So this one's 32 count 2/1, and I love the coverage. I don't mind that it's a bit bulky at the back. I really like the coverage. So we finally got an insane snowfall. It's going to be -30 this Friday. That's, you know, your eyeballs are frozen, your snot's frozen. It's cold. So I find February the hardest month to get through, because March, you know, you can get some warm days, well, where I live anyways. So the kids went tobogganing, had a good time. The dog, which was fun. And yeah, I wanted to work on this piece too, because this is, I'm trying to see if I am going to use this piece for the 30,000 stitches in 1 month challenge. I actually have decided in March I'm going to do a dry run, and then I talked to Kelly, and later on in the year, like after September, we're gonna try, well, she's down to do it then, so I'm gonna try again. And if I don't succeed in March, learn from that, and then definitely succeed the second time. So I'm still thinking it's going to be between Bubbles or Beauty Will Save the World. In February, I'm doing the unconventional cross stitch for 28 days. It's going to be like my daily 30. And I did a poll for the first time. That was fun. And No Place Like Home won. So there's some nice block stitching on her. I will probably do another stitch with me then. So yeah, it's funny. I did not, living in Toronto, I mean, we got snow, but there weren't any hills. It's all like built. I mean, there are some hills, but my mom feels the cold insanely. Like, she's never out of cashmere. And my dad definitely was not about to take me tobogganing. He took me ice skating, but he's like, yeah. Anyways, and so when I was about 12, like, I could use public transportation by myself with my friends. So there's a place called Christie Pitts, and it's a really cool, it's a good hill. Actually, it's kind of like a meteor or something crashed in the park. Like, there's multiple baseball diamonds and soccer fields, and it's surrounded by a hill, if that makes sense. So my girlfriends and I wanted to go tubing. I had never been tubing before, and I didn't have a tube, but Christina's brother let me use his. And then Christina and Iskra and I went on the streetcar. Back in the day, is this like 97, 98, when like skater clothing was in and your pants were so baggy and had like 10,000 pockets down the side of the pants. So like I had $5, my like ID to get on the streetcar, and we decided to be really smart and bring a bike pump to pump up the tubes instead of blowing. And we got there and it was packed. It was so packed. And there were, like, you would go down the hill and there were stairs you're supposed to climb up instead of walking up the hill. And so we found a spot and we pumped up our air tubes, and then we're like, well, we don't want to carry this bike pump. And so we buried it, thinking that would be a great idea. And yeah, so the first time we went down, I think maybe we went down like individually, and that was fun. And then we thought it'd be fun if we like linked arms and went down as a band. And that was fun the first time. And then the second time, and then we decided we'd go in a row. And so I went first, and then Christina, and then Iskra. And then we went down the second time, and it was fun. And then we went down the third time, and my friend Iskra, she I guess girls grow faster, but she was like 5'11", 5'10" at 12. And she was all legs, and she didn't lift her legs up enough, and so we all got sprayed. And Christina was all like, "Oh my god, Iskra, like, look at my face, you got me all sprayed." And like, she turned around and she was just like a yeti. Like, her whole face was absolutely covered. Oh yeah, so we went down a few more times just individually, and then we decided to link arms again. And there was this dog running around. And okay, we took our dog tobogganing, but out here there's like maybe 30 people tops. In Toronto there was easily 300 people on the hills. So we find a spot and we were like, okay, three of us can go down, no problem, right here. And we saw kids at the bottom, like young kids, climbing up the hill. And we're like, we're gonna miss them. This, no problem. So we link arms and we go down, and this dog runs in front of us, and sort of we like shift our body, or I don't even know, and change trajectory. And we're like heading straight for these kids. They're like 4 or 5. And I'm like, oh man, and we're screaming at them to get out of the way. And so I bail. I like let go, like detach arms, because I don't want to smash into these kids. And I guess when I do that, I like take Christina with me, but I like swing Iskra. So Christina knocks them over, and then Iskra runs them over, like do, and keeps going for a long time. And like we run back, and like she like embedded their face in the ground, and their parents come running down the hill and like grab them by the hood to like get them out. And there's this just implanted little kid. They're crying. That must have hurt so badly. Oh, and I have one of those, if I laugh hard, I pee. It's the worst. So I am like crossing my legs, like dying. I know that's horrible, bad karma. But yeah, and Iskra's like sort of saying sorry, but also saying like, why the hell did you let your kids walk up the hill? Like, there's stairs for a reason, which like didn't help at all. So then we decide to go down again, me leading like in a row. And so it's me, Christina, and Iskra's at the back. And there's these sleds. My daughter has one, but for the life of me, I can't remember what they're called. They're like snowmobile, but without... There's steering wheels, there's 2 skis, and you can brake, and the way it brakes is like these sharp, jagged things go into the snow. And they're really cool because you can steer them. And so there's a kid on one of those walking up the hill, dragging it up. And I don't know what happens, but someone else like ran in front of us or something, and I hold on to my snow tube and I flip. And Christina's like holding on to me, and she leaves her snow tube and just flips off of me. And Isker runs into it. I don't think the kid got hit that time, but she smoked into this sled thing, and the spikes popped her tube. And it popped Christina's too, actually. And Isker was livid. And she was chasing this kid, just these long antelope legs, and this little boy running for his life away from this girl. Oh my god. Honestly, that was one of the funniest days. I definitely peed myself. And I had worn a knitted sweater, and it was like 100 pounds, and it was almost down to my knees, just completely. So we get back. Oh, and then we can't find where we buried the bike pump. So 2 snow tubes lost and a bike pump. Oh my god. Wholesome kid experiences. Yeah, we go back on the streetcar, it was all silent. I'm like, oh god. This is the most wet, cold. It's incredible how kids just don't feel the cold. I didn't feel the cold. I would wear almost nothing in the winter. And I look at kids now. I guess it's just all the hormones or something. It's insane. Look at kids and I'm cold. They can just be wet. Like, I always wore those pants, those huge, wide, baggy pants, and I'd like walk to school, and the wetness from the sidewalk, my pants dragging across the sidewalk, it would be up to my knees. No problem. Yeah. I don't think I did snow tubing. I did water tubing at the cottage, but I don't think I did snow tubing again until I was in high school. And there was this other hill in high school that was insane. It really was scary. Winston Churchill. It was like a 3-tier. There's tennis courts. There's like 3 tiers. You'd go down and then it would like plateau. And then you go down again and plateau and down again. And there's sort of like a forest. I guess it's a ravine is more what it is. But yeah, a bunch of us went. Oh, man, it was so scary. I would only go down from the last tier. It was scary. And I had a girlfriend that lived in the area. I don't know if she had mono or she had something. My high school had a pretty decent outbreak of mono, and we all sort of got it. But I can't remember if that's what she had. But anyways, I convinced her to come out. And she was pretty competitive by nature. I'm like, just do the bottom hill with me. Like, chill out. You're so sick. And she's like, no way. I'm going from the top. Do we even have two? Yeah, there was 1 tube, but we had those magic carpet things too. They're just death. And yeah, she got so much air and fell so hard it like unlodged all the mucus in her face. She looked delightful when she reemerged. Oh my gosh. And then there was this other guy, Bram, and he was on his first date with Sarah. And Sarah was definitely not like outdoorsy or how do I say this without being, she was like, you know, her hair always looked immaculate, her makeup was always immaculately dressed and stuff. And he was like, oh no, like it won't be too crazy, I'll keep you safe, it's like a tube, like it'll be fine. Well, it wasn't. And they went and got serious air, and she fell on her face and broke her nose, like splattered her nose. Oh, I don't know why my talks always go so, oh dear. Anyways, so that was my last snow tubing adventure. The tubes are scary. I mean, even water tubing, yeah, they're scary. I had a lot, and then I never learned how to ski, and my stepdad came. He's very Canadian, and She's like, you have to learn how to ski. So my mom signed me up for lessons. I just don't have that like speed freak gene. My husband is obsessed with speed. But skiing, holy moly, you can go so fast. Yeah, I just wanted to stay in the chalet, drink hot chocolate, watch other people almost die. Then I was like 13 and there's these little kids, like, you know, they can barely walk, whizzing by, fearless. I tried snowboarding once, spent the entire day on my butt, and was like, this is pointless. This is not for me. At least skiing, like, both of your feet aren't stuck sideways on a board. Like, snowboarding is just so not instincts, in my opinion. But I couldn't skateboard either. I could rollerblade, but I couldn't skateboard. So maybe some people are just better at doing things sideways. I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, we got about 2.5 feet of snow. What is that? That's like not quite a meter. It's almost a yard. And there's school buses were canceled, but luckily schools are still open. Thank God. Yeah, that would not be. And you are so used to your kids not being at home during the week. It's just, I don't know what to do with them. Although it is nice with the snow because you can just send them outside. We do have that on our roof, the heater things, so you don't have ice damming. Maybe we plugged them in too late. I don't know, because we have some decent icicles. So just ice dyeing. That was fun. I'm actually going to try crino type dyeing, I believe it's what it's called. Maybe I'll make a video of that. That might be fun. Where you can photo impose, not the right words, but develop photos on your fabric, essentially. You dip, there's two parts, there's two mixtures, A and B. You have to mix them exactly the same. And they have a long shelf life, which is nice, so you can just mix the whole amount and have it done. And then just natural fibers, synthetic don't work. And in the dark, it says it's not too sensitive, so turn your lights off, but if you have a window, it's not gonna ruin anything. And you have to completely saturate your cloth in the mixture, and then you let it dry overnight, like preferably overnight in the dark. And it has to be 100% dry. And then you put down your leaves or your flower or your lace or whatever on the fabric, and then pop on the light or like put it in direct sunlight, and it develops. I'm very excited to try this. I think that looks so cool. And it's only indigo-ish looking color. So indigo is such a fascinating, what is it, mineral? Plant? I can't even remember. I know it's natural. I went to OCAD, Ontario College of Art and Design, and I did a degree in fine art. And we did indigo dyeing, and you have to, I can't even remember now. I know you have to bury it to dye it, and then you unbury it and expose it to the light, and that's how you get your indigo. It was very cool. I unfortunately had the most incredible studio at OCAD to learn all Oh, and the professors, so much I could have learned about dyeing, and I had zero interest. And now, how I wish. It's funny, the courses I took compared to now what my interests are. Although I did take like weaving and stuff like that, which I absolutely still love. I'd love to set my loom up again, but not with kids. And I can imagine my cat's just gonna sleep on it. It'd be cool to weave your own even weave fabric. That would be very cool, because the hardest part, or I found the hardest part of weaving, was setting up I can't remember any terms today. Like you have to create a warp, like your length that it's going to be. And you might as well make it long, because sitting there threading all of your individual threads through individual eyelets takes forever. It takes absolutely forever. And it's backbreaking. And then the weaving part goes so quickly. So you might as well make it yards and yards, or meters and meters and meters, and then just go to town. So that's a goal for one day. I think that'd be so cool. Probably do a linen. Linens, though, I remember you have to spray as you weave, because linen, I believe, it's fairly weak. Like the wetter it gets, the stronger it gets. It's like a little bit weak to start with. I might be wrong, but I feel like there was a reason I had a spray bottle by my side for all my linen projects. My thesis was 3 8-foot by 10-foot woven tapestries of faces. What did I do again? Charles Ray. No, Charles. God, I can't even remember the names. But anyways, am I? Sorry. That'd be easier doing block stitching, but it would help if I referred to Pattern Keeper sometimes. Anyways, I did 3 artists who passed away early in their lives. And I made these music boxes. And when you, or I should say, the art university I went to, like everything was very conceptual. They didn't really care about, it wasn't as important to make pretty things. It was more important to have conceptual things. And I majored in sculpture installation and minored in textiles. So yeah, I had these 3 massive tapestries hanging, and then a podium, these wooden podiums with these doors inside, and these music boxes on top that I inlaid. And you could open the music box and hear their music. Like I had these little MP3 players with some of their songs, and it would unravel. So it would like and it would spool up into the podium. And I got, like, I remember doing pretty well and getting a pretty decent response to it. But now I have, these 3 half unwoven massive tapestries that I feel like I put hundreds and hundreds of hours into weaving. They are pixelated, but you could from far away, you could see their faces. And oh yeah, it was Janis Joplin. Oh my gosh, I was gonna do 5, but I ran out of time and I could only do I could only do 3. Yeah, so now I don't have, beautiful paintings or anything. I have these 3 massive, huge, half unwoven, gigantic tapestries that I can't really do anything with unless they didn't completely unravel. They were so big. But there's a lot of the face missing. So, but I don't have the heart to throw them away. So they're just in the basement. Ugh. Sigh. The conceptual world. OCAD was fun though. We didn't have oh my gosh. We had this one exchange student who was from Iceland, and what was he majoring in? He was in media studies. It was probably media studies. And he decided to film. Okay, so the ROM, the Royal Ontario Museum, and the Art Gallery of Ontario, they always have huge fundraisers. Like huge. I don't even know how much tickets are, but they're big deals, and they're for fundraising. So, lots of important, wealthy Torontonians. I don't know if they come from other cities, but philanthropists come to these fundraisers. And he had gone into the ROM and had put like a fake bomb and cameras to film the shit show that ensued. And it did, and he got deported. Oh, man. So that was, man, there were lots of highlights actually at OCAD. In woodshop, oh, see, this is going to go dark again. Okay, so in woodshop, Stan, my professor, he was amazing. And his like only rule was don't come to woodshop high. Like, do not. You will get hurt. And one guy was high and wanted to hear what a drill sounded like. And his hair got stuck in the drill and ripped his hair out. Another girl was tripping on acid, and we had gone to the dump, and there's like lots of wood to pick from. And she'd remove some of the bark, and I guess there were termites or ants, carpenter ants maybe. And she like went into a full-blown psychosis. It was so scary. And then another person from the dump, I don't think he was high or anything, but on the bandsaw, he lifted the safety up way too hard, and there was a knot in the wood, and he pressed, like he was pushing really hard, and then it went through, and he got his forehead with the bandsaw blade. Oh my gosh. Yeah. There was a lot of interestingness at OCAD. There's just too many things you could do to hurt yourself. On top of the really strange art that gets made too. I came from a pretty not conservative, it's not the right word, but like a lot of engineering students, a lot of students went into engineering and stuff like that. That went in robotics and math and stuff from my high school. I actually went to high school with Dan Levy, who obviously did not go into engineering. And Eugene Levy was always at our school because his son was always in plays and stuff. Oh, we had a good music department too. Where was I going with this? Ugh, I forget where I was going with this story. Oh yeah, so I did art, and the art at this school was still life was draw some fruit or draw a teapot, and pretty wholesome. So we get to OCAD. My first day was life drawing. And like it was just a naked dude. First day. And he was strange because he would pick one person and just stare at them. Oh, it was so uncomfortable. But the first class was like just different positions. 1 minute you had to contour draw them and then change. So everyone got stared at awkwardly for a minute. It was hard to know where to start. So I got used to that because we had a lot of life drawing classes. And then I had an introduction into performance art, which is not my favorite. It's usually a little too weird and conceptual for me. And it was a big deal because it was this really famous Cuban performing artist. And we had this area called X Space, and it was just a huge, I don't know if anyone's seen OCAD. It's this massive black and white checker box on massive crayon sticks. And so there's an all open concept. There's like, well, okay, it used to be OCA, it was just Ontario College of Arts, and then it became Ontario College of Art and Design. And the crayon box was like the design school. It's all open concept. But all the shops were down in the art section, like in rooms. But so there's this one area, X Space, this huge area, and they set up a stage for her, and she was like, and there was food. There was like a little cafe beside this place, besides the X Space, and she was doing her thing. And it was like 100 people there watching her. And then like the end of her performance, she like dropped her pants and peed. I was like, what the heck is the meaning of this? This is beyond my understanding. But she apparently was very popular. And then the Royal Bank of Canada holds a painting competition every year. And I think it's like 10 grand. $10,000 is the prize. And one year the winner painted all of these building landscapes with her feces. And she changed her diet to get different palettes. And yeah, that's what she did. Yeah, it just, the whole shock art is, I don't know. I never really got into it. I had to try doing a lot of it, but okay, so I'm not sure what happened there. I apologize. I'm not sure what I was talking about or where I left off talking about. I think it was strangeness at my university, but I can't remember what. And I don't know now how long this has been going for, but let's see, it's been, how many stitches? 341, so it's probably been half an hour again. So maybe I should wrap this up after this thread. I'm not sure if I should make these longer or how long's a good stitchy session for people. Half an hour is a good one for me. Oh, I'm doing, so maybe I'll do one of these for this stitch, cross stitch, 28 days of cross stitch. I'll do a stitch with me. I think I'll do a stitch with me for every piece I have some block stitching in, because it's just easier to not have to thread and really pay attention to pattern keeper and whatnot. So a few more stitches here. Use every last tiny bit. Thread up. So thank you so much again for watching. Really appreciate it. And that's that. Okay, so how many was that? That was a total of Oops. $352 stitches. And now I'm at 10.09%. Love it. Okay, thanks so much, guys. Bye.